Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGaLe's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, interchangeable, of course. And welcome to the next installation of Thursday Fry Up. And my goodness, barely a day can pass on God's green earth where there is not some other outrage or something absolutely, utterly extraordinary happening in the news. Now, today's the first of all, I want to say a shout out to all my clients today, and I want to give a particular shout out as well to Gaida, who saw me in person. She was going through London, passing through London, and we met up today, and we had a great old chinwag in St. Catherine's Dock. I'll post a picture, and some other of you have seen me in person as well if you've been passing through London, which I love to do. But because I've been so busy today, I've not been able to keep up with all of the news and all this stuff. So I am flying blind, folks. I'm going to be relying on you, on the comments and all this stuff here. Now, of course, I put some questions out there to all of you. I did the post a bit late. You know, normally I do it 24 hours before. I was too busy, but I was only able to do it a few hours before. But nonetheless, you gave me some questions. Here they all here. And surprise, surprise, most of them are about Trump. Oh my goodness. So we will deal with him because I've actually got a question that's coming from the UK, which is about UK politics. So we're going to do a bit of UK politics first. And then we have to talk, of course, about Duck L'Orange. Yeah. And these new revelations. And I'll be taking questions as well from the live feed as well. Over the next hour, so much to cover. I mean, our heads are spinning. Thank you as well for the amazing feedback you guys gave me on the deep dive that I did on Trump's chart. Many of you said you found that fascinating, insightful, and also helpful. However, there was a little bit I forgot to say, which is about Trump's Mercury in the 11th house. So I'm going to do when we get onto the old Trump factor, we're going to look at that just to describe it, because it also describes why he can't shut his mouth. Yeah. And this is a big important thing. And then I just wanted to clarify that you can never cover everything. And I covered a great deal, but when it's live, you know, these things happen. Also as well, we'll be looking at the eclipses as well. And Melania, you know, the wife and all of that kind of stuff. So if you haven't already, and if you're new to the channel, then please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. And of course, press the bell notification. What else? You know, just to make sure that you get notified and stuff like that. I've talked already about ads on the channel, haven't I? Remember that. So sometimes I do get a bit of ad spam, but if you could watch one or two, that will be wonderful. And I always tidy the things up. It tends to happen more on HoGaLe, actually, because of course, you know, so many people watch that show. But anyway, I always try and just keep it to maybe like one ad in the middle of a thing, because of course it supports the channel. So many people have actually said to me, actually, look, if they can't afford to donate, they just watch an ad, and that's great. That really does help. Right, lots to discuss. Let's see who's here in the chat. We're going to do a UK question first, and then of course, not that we even want to, but we have to discuss, particularly Duck L'Orange with these new revelations. Oh my goodness. So let's see who's in the chat. Let's see who's here. So have a little look. So we've got Charlie Sage, Christy Tobin, so nice to see you. Teresa Campbell, Patricia Fanzino. We've got Zendel 1, Lucy Claire, Jenny W. Who else? Christine Brooks. Yes, make sure I'd say that right. Flower 1 stars. Love that one. Susan Norland. No Name is also here. I think that's a new one. Lizette. Oh, Lizette, darling. It's been ages since we've spoken. Lizette gave me she gave me this tarot deck. Oh, you know what, Lizette? I'm going to use, you know, this tarot deck that you sent me, the Bianco Nero. When I'm pulling on Duck L'Orange, I don't think he deserves the Art Nouveau. I'm going, you know, we need the black and white cards for this guy. Anyway, so obviously what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and read your comments through as well, also to see what questions you might have. So it's going to be a little bit more freestyling than usual. However, well, it's always a freestyling show, you know. Thursday fry up is you know, it's a looser wagon, shall we say. As you know, we also can ask Shakespeare with particular questions that you have. That, you know, obviously we've done Trump with Shakespeare a lot. But mind you, it's worth a pull, isn't it? It's worth a pull. But I'm sure you guys can think of other guys, people, as it were, that I could read on. But let's start with a funny quote. Again, from the funniest quotations to brighten your day. And this one made me tickle, or tickled me rather. And I think it kind of, in a way, kind of describes the situation with contemporary politics now, not just in America, but the whole world. Anyway, so this is what someone wise once said. Never, under any circumstances, take a sleeping pill and a laxative on the same night. Don't you think that kind of describes, in a way, exactly what is going on? The world we live in today. Honestly, the world we live in today. Right, I'm going to have a quick slurp of my red bush tea with some of this kind of mushroom powder I put in it, which apparently helps one to sleep. All right. So the first question has come in from Roy Pounsford. So he says, hi, Hogarth, how are Labour going to do? Number of seats, he's asked me, number of seats. I'm not sure I can predict number of seats, Roy, but let's see. And the Lib Dems number of seats in the upcoming general election. Regards, Roy. So just so you know, folks, we've got elections in the UK in 2024. I think it's scheduled for late spring, something like that. So they're not too far away. I think there's also elections happening in Germany as well. There's quite a few starting to come. But for us in the UK, of course, you know, it is next year. So I'll go to the tarot deck here. And let's ask, I'm going to ask about the Lib Dems first. So the Liberal Democrats, who are they, folks, for American audience or people around the world? The Liberal Democrats, it's kind of... they have kind of in general more liberal policies, as it were, in terms of social progression, finance, etc. It sounds something a bit radical, but it's not. It's not too radical. And they wanted us to wanted the UK to remain in Europe. And of course, they predicted, you know, all the kind of the stuff that would happen. Nobody listened, of course, and it is now what it is. Labour would be the equivalent of maybe the Democrats in USA, but American politics is generally quite conservative in general. So Labour is supposed to be all about unions and about the working man or woman. You know, it's what some American politicians would call communism. It's not communism, but that's what it's labeled. It's quite Bernie Sanders. Let's put it that way. Labour and Bernie Sanders have a lot in common. But even Bernie Sanders will still be considered quite conservative for some political groups in Europe, shall we say. So let's see how Lib Dems will do, the Liberal Democrats, who are pro-Europe. They've not quite gotten yet on a let's return to Europe bandwagon, but let's see. So I'm going to pull 5 cards for the Lib Dems, and then we're going to get on to Duck Larange, because that guy is just too much. Yeah, and whatever you want to ask as well in the questions. So let's have a little look. Liberal Democrats. A bit of UK action for my UK viewers. And thank you everyone as well. Thank you all to the new subscribers and liking, subscribing. I really appreciate it. It really does help. Even literally watching 1 or 2 ads, it actually helps. So thank you. Wow, big kisses. Right now, Lib Dems. How will they do? Obviously, you want to see positive cards here. You don't want to see things like, you know, I don't know, 6 of Swords or, you know, 5 of Pentacles, stuff like that. anything that implies Skid Row. They have been doing very well in the UK, and they've recently been unseating Tories in local by-elections as well. So they're kind of on the up and up, and their leader, if I remember correctly, is someone called Ed Davey. Oh, looks like the prospect. Oh, look at this. Wands. Oh, look. 5 of Pentacles. That's not great. Oh, death. All right. So to answer the question, Roy, look, it's looking a little bit dicey for the Lib Dems. There they are. They're prospecting. We've got here the 2 of Wands. So they're looking out, looking to expand their reach. Here he's looking at the globe, but this can also be in reference to Britain and expanding their seats and stuff like that. And they've been on a good run. This is about making plans, strategies, etc. However, in the obstacle position here, we've got the Page of Wands. And pages are all about messages, but the Page of Wands in particular can be like the spokesperson and stuff like that. So they might have some issues around their messaging for some reason. Something in the run up to the election, maybe it's a case of that they don't get the messaging quite right, or the media doesn't give them a fair run. But there might be an issue there because this is the obstacle position. Here in the middle, we've got the 5 of Pentacles, which of course is the poverty card, feeling out in the cold. In the UK, guys, we still have very much a first past the post system, which tends to benefit the 2 legacy establishment parties, which are the Tories and Labour. So it's looking like the Lib Dems may suffer again. They have made a lot of gains in the local elections, but this card here would suggest that it may not quite translate into the general election as much as they would hope. However, there is the death card here. Now, this doesn't mean the death of the Liberal Democrat Party. It means turning over a new leaf in many ways, a transformation. So it could be that maybe their situation where they've been at a disadvantage, 5 of Pentacles, maybe that gets turned around, particularly when we see the outcome card is the Emperor, which of course talks about leadership and stuff like that. It's also like the war card, but it's about fighting. It's also about establishment, authority. So maybe it could be that the Lib Dems actually, even though the middle card is the 5 of Pentacles, you have to read everything in context. So it's looking like the poverty is under transformation, and this could be leading to better leadership for them. So I can't tell you how many seats. Famously, the slur that was always thrown at Liberal Democrats, because they're a small party, was that they could all fit in the back of a minivan. I think at most they had around about 51 seats or so, in the 50s, in terms of 300 and or so parliamentary seats. So they've always been quite a small party. I would say if they get 40 seats or something like that, that will be really good. That would be really good for them. You never know, they might get more. If it's any more than 50, I'll be astonished, but you never know. You never know. Now let's look at Labour. Labour is run by Sakir Starmer. He's kind of he has a bit of a reputation for being the most boring guy in the world, which I think is a little bit unfair. He's kind of spiced himself up, but Spitting Image always has him reading out really stale bits and bobs. But he used to be a lawyer, and he has kind of turned Labour's fortunes around, and he is maybe not seen as the heir apparent, but he is the leader of the opposition, and Labour has been doing quite well. So they really do stand a chance, because the Tories have been dreadful, but you never know. All right, what are Labour's prospects? Now for Labour, for them to have a win, we're going to want to be seeing cards like the Chariot, the 6 of Wands, the victory card, or the Star card, or even the Emperor, or cards that are confident. Even Strength could denote something good, or Aces, of course. Aces could also be good. So let's see how Labour are going to do. We don't want to see too many like 9 of Swords, or cards that are maybe less positive. Well, we'll see what Spirit has to say. See what they get. Ah, look at that. Said Aces. Look at that. They get an Ace of Wands straight out the bat. That's looking pretty good for them. Oh, there's some machinations. Oh, looky here, looky here. Ah, but look, 9 of Swords. Oh, bugger. That's just what I was talking about, isn't it? Oh dear. All right. Just got to say what's there. They go into the general election full of hope and ambition. Yeah, wanting to bring forward their bold new ideas and, you know, kind of clear the way and basically beat down the Tories and the opposition. However, in the obstacle position, we have the Queen of Cups here. Now, the Queen of Cups, in general, when you're not reading on politics, you're reading for a person. It deals with usually a creative person, normally a creative woman, but someone who's creative, imaginative, sensitive. However, in here, she does have her crucible of secrets. So as Lady G would say, when we're talking about politics, this can be what the crucible of abominations. This could be some kind of secret that comes out. This is this has come in the obstacle position. So there might be something, some kind of fly in the ointment. If we look in the middle here, we see machinations. Yeah, we see, now this is the High Priestess. For ordinary people, this means spirituality, personal spiritual development, all of that kind of stuff. Here, this can mean, you know, things like espionage, secrets, predatory behaviors, etc. Maybe the Tories have got something up their sleeve. However, there might be elements here. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but this would suggest that there might be some worries here for Labour. Something might happen between now and the election that kind of changes things. But when we look here, when we look at the outcome card, oh God, well, this is grim. You can see what it is. It's the 10 of Swords. So this can talk about betrayal. It can talk about defeat and stuff like that. Now, what we need to understand is that at the moment, Labour, as far as I'm aware, have been leading in the polls, and the Tories have not been doing great. However, the cards that they've got, as you can see, have not been great for them. However, there is this ace here, so there is still opportunity, but they've got to play it right. And I think really what this is talking about Labour's messaging. Yeah, their messaging. They've kind of held back on a lot of their policies, actually, and the public still aren't sure of who they are. And I'm not sure if they still fully trust whether or not Sir Keir Starmer can turn things around. Yeah, some people thinking, well, maybe he's in the corporate back pockets as well. So I think there's a trust issue here. With this combination, of course, you know, that can look worrying. So maybe the polls get closer as we get closer to the election. Let's pull some clarifiers. I'm going to have to pull some clarifiers on that 10 of Swords because, I mean, it is a bit bleak, isn't it? Here's a little bit bleak. Let's see. Oh, look at the base of the deck. Ace of Wands, but that's not necessarily applicable. Let's do my shuffleage. Let's pull 3 cards on that 10 of Swords to see what is coming to an end. Because it could easily mean as well, they bring the Tories to an end. Do you see what I mean? So if the cards are more positive, then that could be that. But if they continue to be negative, then it might mean that, you know, Labour might get scuppered in some kind of way. Let's have a little look-see. Where's this going on? Let's go like that. So let's get some clarification on a 10 of Swords. And then we're going to talk about goddamn Larange. This guy, it's just an outrage. All right. Labour. Clarification on this 10 of Swords, which looks bleak. Let's see. Let's have a little look. Oh. When I flipped over the card. King of Cups. Death. The Fool. Bloody hell. Okay. All right, folks. This is I've got to say, it's a bit choppy for Labour. Yeah, we've seen the cards. If we look here, this is, I think, Sir Keir Starmer, yeah, which can deal, you know, the King of Cups deals with a sensitive man. Or we often refer to this card as the Biden card. Obviously, Joe Biden is not going to be helping out Labour. He's going to be busy with his own stuff, yeah, with his own election, of course. But this is probably talking more about Sir Keir Starmer and his approach to things. So we can see here there's a lot of emotion, a lot of sensitivity. A transformation, though, is required. We've got the Death card here. So there might be some certain ideas that Sir Keir Starmer has that need to kind of die in a way. And you know what I think this is? I think this is Labour's stance on Brexit. Yeah, because they were able to they had to kind of go along with the narrative. Well, they decided to go along with that narrative at the time. You know, Jeremy Corbyn really didn't fight for the whole thing, and we've seen what happened since. But look at the outcome card, the fall, which means what? Taking a leap of faith. So the way I see it is Keir Starmer has to let an idea that he's been holding on to, or what the Labour Party have been holding on to, he has to let the idea die and take a leap of faith. I think this is about Europe. If he does that, then that will probably change the prospects. However, I feel it could be the case that if he doesn't change, there'll be worries and there'll be defeat. And as we saw, the Liberal Democrats, the Lib Dems cards were a lot better. So it could be a case, what changes is that when we get into the election year, the Lib Dems could actually start talking about the UK returning to Europe in some shape or form, although Sir Keir Starmer has been kind of flirting a little bit with Macron about maybe associate membership, but they're going to have to be explicit. They're going to have to be clear in their messaging, because obviously since we've left the EU, the UK economy, let me tell you guys, it's rubbish. It's as simple as that. And that's not beating down my own country or anything like that. It's just reality. Yeah, it's just reality. Europe was 40% of our business. We're no longer trading effectively with them. 40% is what? Almost 50%. Imagine if one's wage was cut in 40% by 40%. You don't have any money. Yeah, pretty obvious. Anyway, so let's read some comments and then we're going to talk about Duck L'Orange. All right, let's see who's in here. Oh, Catherine Basket Astrology. Oh, hello from sunny Tucson. Hello. Someone called Rena here. Oh, I love that. Is that obviously it's a bird of prey. It looks like a buzzard. Looks like a buzzard. Let me know if it was a buzzard. Looks like a buzzard to me. Who else do we have in? Let's scroll down and see if there's any questions here. People are saying greetings and salutations to all you beautiful people. Remember, guys, the chat has a life of its own. And there's 377 of you with me here this evening as well. So thank you very much for joining me. And if you're watching me on the following day, thank you as well. Let's see here. Oh, someone said good advice. Yeah, I think it was with the laxative. Never take a sleeping pill and a laxative on the same night. Yeah. Let's see. Let me scroll down because there's a lot more chin wag going on here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Judy, for your donation. Much appreciated. What's this? ABC just announced that Trump shared, yes, nuclear sub secrets with a guest at Mar-a-Lago. Someone else was saying in the comments that they were someone Australian or something, someone Australian. Thank you as well, Lucy, so much for your donation. Much appreciated. Let's see here what I've got in the starred comments. What was that? Let's go back to the live comments. Let's see here. So let's take a look. So many of you, of course, are having a chin wag with each other, which is great. Oh, someone's saying, oh, where is it? Oh, someone said, where's it gone? Someone said, no name head says US economy is rubbish as well. Well, you know what? From what I understand, now don't shoot the messenger here. Don't shoot the messenger. The official stance, of course, is that the US economy is doing well. However, remember what I said? I said in the last quarter, there's going to be changes in the economy. And that's what I see from the astrology. But what my clients are telling me, they're telling me their lived reality. And they're telling me that the economy is different to as it's being presented. Don't shoot the messenger. That's come from my clients. And most of you guys are in America. So I listen to that first, because the lived experience from real, authentic, genuine people is more important than what is necessarily curated on the news. Let's look at that. Let's not forget that inflation as well. Yeah, it's a bit lower than other developed countries. However, we know prices are significantly high compared to where they were in 2020. But certainly for the case in the UK, they now have to put, just so you know, they need to put anti-theft alarms on the cheese. Everyone, yeah. Anti-theft on the cheese. You've got blocks of cheese with the big, you know, and other stuff as well, on meat as well, you know, and the shoplifting in the UK has just gone through the roof, but so it has as well in America. So let's take everything with a pinch of salt. There's an awful lot going on in the world. All right. Duck L'Orange. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something quickly. I'm going to share the screen, then we're going to go into the questions because I need to clarify something. So I'm going to read off my notes so I don't forget, and then I'll show you on the screen. So I put here, so Duck L'Orange, Trump has got Mercury. Now remember, Mercury is the planet of communication, media, communications of all kinds, everything, even travel, all that stuff. And he's got his Mercury in the 11th house, which deals with friends and associates, powerful and influential people, wealth, huge gains, money, all of that kind of stuff, in its own sign of Gemini. So whenever you've got Mercury or the moon in the sign of Gemini, a person is a talker. But here, because Mercury is literally the planet of communication, he can't shut up. Have you noticed? I know I've said this in previous videos. I just forgot to say it in the, pardon me, in the last one I did on him. We've seen already Trump can't shut his mouth to save his life. Yeah. But it also shows as well why he's also been very fortunate and very lucky, because the 11th house also deals with great gains, great desires, but it does deal with powerful and influential friends. Duck L'Orange did not get there on his own. We all know who is being helped. Yeah, his friends are sort of like what? Marjorie Taylor Greene, Bobert, and what's his name? Eyebrows, Mr. Eyebrows, Angry Birds, Matt Gaetz. Yeah. They've all been helping him, and he is still in his Jupiter/Mercury dasher, which means Mercury's been giving a lot of energy. What else did I write here? And so quite literally Mercury in his chart, because Mercury is the planet of communication in its own sign, which deals with communication, in the 11th house, which deals with friends and associates, that can literally be Speaker McCarthy, yeah, who is now been flicked, yeah. So let's see, and let's not forget as well, one of his biggest platforms, the 11th house, also deals with social media and communities and stuff like that. What was his big platform? Twitter, now X. And then once he was knocked off Twitter, do you remember he set up what? Truth Social. So he's a compulsive communicator. He cannot shut up. Sometimes, obviously, it's worked very powerfully for him. We may not agree with the outcome, but it's been very powerful. But we also see as well how he's his own worst enemy. What else have I put here? Also, Trump can shut up, blah, blah, blah. Lord America deals with Twitter, blah, blah. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly share my screen with you, just so you can see for yourself, because it, you know, Virgo sun, you know, we're a little bit perfectionist. And I'm just like, I missed that little bit, even though I've said it before, but I love to show the charts, as you know. So let me, oh sweet Lord Jesus, what have I done here? 1 minute, I need to get that up. Oh, what have I done? Forgive me, 1 minute. Un momento. Let me just move this here like that. Let's get back up where I was. Bloody hell, where was I? Let me close that off. Get back here. Why is this doing this today? And I need to be on StreamYard here. Sorry guys, just had to literally kind of figure that one out. Now I'm going to click up here. Now we got the chart. Now I've already explained the details here, but this is just to go back over. Some of you wanted me to make the cursor bigger, but I've not had a chance to look into that today because I was busy. So look, I hope you can see it moving here. Here's Duck L'Orange. I've said this already. Leo ascendant, 6 degrees, 51 minutes. Conjunct with Mars, conjunct his ascendant, conjunct the star Regulus, making that Mars 10 times powerful and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, what I forgot to say was here, look, you see his Mercury is here in Gemini, which is in its own sign. So that means that Mercury is boosted up. Any planets in the signs of friends, exaltation, or their own sign do extremely well. But look at the nakshatra here. You might not be able to see it. It says ARD. It means Ardra. So if we look here, do you see Mercury here is in Gemini, own house. And you see here it says Ardra. Guess what Ardra deals with? Ardra nakshatra, the deity of Ardra nakshatra is called Rudra. And Rudra is the god of storms, tumultuousness, like a tornado that comes through and tears everything down. That's where Trump's Mercury is. It means what? His speech is like a tornado that rips through. Yeah, he's like a Tasmanian devil, isn't he? We've seen for ourselves. So here, this is a very tumultuous nakshatra. It can actually be very truthful, actually. When someone goes into the higher energies of Ardra, the higher energies, it can make an exceptionally truthful person. The irony is, actually, do you know what? I've just noticed something. My moon is on top of Trump's Mercury. My moon is at 15 degrees as well in exchange. But I would like to think I'm trying to stand up for more the virtuous side of truth, yeah, bringing you these astrological truths and what have you. But the shadow of Ardra is drama and lies and deception and stuff, or just saying stuff that is very, very bombastic, because that is what Duck L'Orange is like. But here, do you see it says the 11th house? If we count round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great gains, friends, associates, powerful friends. What he's had the money backing. If we look here, do you see he's in his Jupiter Mercury dasher? But as you've heard me say ad nauseum, he goes into Jupiter K2 on the 22nd of October 2023. It's now the 6th of October 2023. We've seen how things have been getting worse. K2 is snip, snip. So what it means is K2 may start separating Trump from his friends. However, this is the last hurrah. They're talking about what? Making him Speaker of the House. I mean, blasphemy. But Mercury is the planet of communication. It is in the 11th house. Mercury is still, even though it's in the last gasps, Mercury is still having a positive influence on Trump's chart. And that's what his friends are trying to do. Matt Gaetz really has set everything up, making McCarthy really, really weak, getting rid of him at the opportune time to try and put Duck L'Orange in there. But I'm going to say this. For Trump, and I repeat, for Trump to become president again, it would either take a miracle or an act of great evil. Honestly, he is in such trouble, because if we look here, he's got Saturn, planet of karma, in his 7th house, and the 7th house is the house of litigation, open enemies. Saturn's going to be here in the sign of sidereal Aquarius for another couple of years. He doesn't move out until around about February, March, I think. February, March, I can't remember. Either early, late winter or early spring 2025, if I recall correctly. In fact, let's look at the animated transits. Let's treat you to some animated transits. And rather than me guessing, let's just have a bloody look. Yeah. All right. So you'll see down here, I'm going to move this to yearly. Pay attention here to Saturn over here. This is where Saturn is right now at 7 degrees and 2 minutes retrograde, right on top of America's moon. The moon deals with the mind, the emotions, the homeland, the public. This is Sadi Sati, peak Sadi Sati, which can mean 7 years of trials. This began when Saturn moved into sidereal Capricorn on the 30th of December 2020. What happened soon after that? Yeah, bit of lockdown. Yeah, rules, regulations. Saturn represents what? Government, rules, regulations, karmas, restrictions. So Sati Sati happens when Saturn is one sign from the moon, with the moon, or one sign after. So in the USA charts, I want you to imagine the moon is here. The moon in the USA chart sits at 7 degrees. Saturn is right on top of it. Is it any wonder everything is so absolutely cray-cray right now? Anyway, let's click forward a few years. So here we are, 4th of October 2024. You see Saturn is still firmly ensconced in sidereal Aquarius. Obviously, in Western tropical astrology, they're going to be talking about him in Pisces, but this is where his physical body will be. Let's click forward another year. We see he's crept now into sidereal Pisces, but let's click back monthly, and I want to give you that week, that day, when he makes the change. So he goes retrograde, direct, retrograde, direct. So here we are. So let's do, if we do, and then let's go back daily. Let's do weekly. And then let's do another week. Ooh, let's do daily. Go forward. I want to give you the exact day. You know, I like my details. One more. Aha! So Saturn, according to my software, oh my goodness, guys, can you see that absolutely epic stellium? On the 29th of March, 2025 is when Saturn will move into sidereal Pisces. And let me tell you, we're going to be talking about the oceans. This is water, 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 water. I wasn't expecting to make a prediction, but here you are. Saturn, Rahu, Venus exalted but retrograde with Neptune, Mercury retrograde, the Sun and the Moon and Chiron all at the same time. The wounded healer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 factors going on. So that means as well, there's going to be a huge events and stuff in regards to what the US elections, because they're happening in November 2024. And this is end of March 2025. So this is quite soon after the inauguration, which happens in January. Oh, look at that. You can see for yourself, folks. Big, big stuff. Mind you, though, Pluto has moved on a little bit here from his position. He would have crossed over himself by that point. Anyway, so I'll go back to the main screen, and then we're going to take the questions because I don't want to spend too long on the astrology. But do you see how that has manifested? So at the moment, Trump's friends via Mercury, which is also the planet of friends, in the 11th house of friends, associates, great gains, money, influential people have been helping him. But the energy has been of Ardra, of storms, the god Rudra, a tornado. Look at the chaos that him and his friends and his speech have been causing. Look as well at his 12th house as well. And this deals with the foreign money, the stuff overseas. This is also the wife, Melania. Remember I said Melania has got a few Louis Vuitton bags packed. She's going to be dusting them off soon. I'm sure she's going to be working on a divorce settlement once the money runs out, because this is the important thing to understand, really. Once the money runs out for Trump, he will lose his friends, because these people, that's all that they care about. The second he's poor, they're gone. But it's the race. Do you see? They're working hard to try and kind of bump him up and have him be what? Speaker. Mercury is also, the, like I said, the planet of speech, communication. However, let's also as well remember that Mercury in the shadow is the trickster. Look how many people he's seduced and bamboozled. Let's also quickly talk about the eclipses as well, which are going to be happening here. The eclipses, if we look, it's going to be happening in sidereal Virgo for the solar eclipse, which is happening on October 14th. Let's click forward. Let's click forward to October 14th. So let's put here. I wasn't expecting it to be, let me just to calculate. Here we go. So here we have the moon at 29 degrees and loose change. with the sun coming together, causing that eclipse in sidereal Virgo. This eclipse, guys, is happening right on Trump's Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is the planet of money. Neptune can dissolve a fortune. Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's happening here in the second house, which deals with family, money, resources, assets. He's having the eclipse on the 14th of October. Bang! Right in his second house, right on his Jupiter. So there could be a ruling very soon that could affect what? He's already been found guilty, but then we're going to find out how much the money is. Neptune can deal with colossal gains and luxuries, but Neptune can also lose a person of fortune as well. You see where Ketu is over here? Ketu, snip, snip. Remember, the nodes of the moon move backwards. They start high and the number goes low. Ketu is hovering around about here. But guess what? On the 29th of November, 2023, Ketu will move into sidereal Virgo. Rahu will move into sidereal Pisces, as I've said. And snip, snip could do a chop, chop or a Texas chainsaw massacre on his money, his assets. If that happens, if Trump becomes bankrupt, then him becoming the president will be virtually impossible, because his wealthy friends and patrons over here are most likely to ditch him. For them, it's all about the cash. Mercury is also a planet of money. And for Leo ascendants, it's a very powerful for generating income, because he rules the second house, and which deals with money, and the 11th house of great gains. So you see, Mercury in his Jupiter-Mercury dasher, and Jupiter's also money, has been protecting him. But that protection is coming to an end, guys, as we've seen. But the true energy of it will kick in on, or very close to, what? The 22nd of October, 2023. So Ketu is coming with the scissors, and his friends are what? Trying to make him speaker. There we are. Look, I will leave that there. Let's stop sharing on that. Otherwise, it's all just going to be about Trump's chart, and I've already done the deep dive already. So let's minimize. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys, and then we'll get into some questions. Look at that. The time has gone already. Let's see. Yes. So Foggy, it says 45, and other people wonder what he shared at Helsinki. Ooh. What do the cards say about the voice referendum held on the 14th? It's to give the indigenous a voice. Oh, yes. That's a good one. Let me see. That would mix it up a little bit. I can pull some cards on that. Right. So I hope you've been enjoying the show so far, but I had to do those clarifiers. Do you see why I had to explain to you his current dasher and why he's been so lucky? Yeah. Because Mercury, for all Leo ascendants, is a very powerful money generator, money generating planet, and he's in the sub period of that planet, and that planet's in the 11th house. But it's also why he can't shut up to save his life. All right. So Nancy Miracle has asked, hey HoGaLe, love your channel. What will happen with the money Trump has stashed away overseas? Will the IRS seize it? Good question. So K2, snip, snip, can be, because he deals with separations and stuff, he can also deal with victories as well, but only if a person is doing good karma, really. But K2 could represent the IRS, so could Saturn. So let's see. Oh, I'm using the wrong deck. I need to use these ones. Here are my Bianco Nero. All right. Trump's money. Will the IRS come after him? Will K2 snip snip manifest as the IRS? We already see K2's energies. The judge has already spoken. Now it's just the case of the size of the fine. Let's see. Let's see what the cards have to say. If we see 5 of Pentacles, Three of Swords and Nine of Swords and all that kind of stuff. But Five of Pentacles will basically be ruin. If he gets the Ace of Pentacles, he might do a bit better. We'll have to see. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Oh, the Lovers. Ah. Oh, reversals. Oh, my goodness. Well, well, well. Look at this. All right, folks. Oh, we've got 470 with you, here with me. Thank you so much, everyone. Much appreciated. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and press that bell notification as well, so you're notified. Looky here, Lovers. Duck L'Orange is still going to be trying to make some kind of sweetheart deals, yeah? You know really what this is about? This is about Duck L'Orange and the GOP. This is them basically in bed together, getting all touchy-feely, little bit. This is almost as saucy as Lauren Boebert, yeah, the other day, or Boobert, as some people are calling her, or Hobart. So this is Duck L'Orange and the GOP getting up close and personal and entwined with each other like lovers, yeah? However, in the obstacle position, things are changing. So this was reversed. So here we have got the Five of Wands. Now, so it means what? Chaos. Nothing but chaos with these people. When it's the right way up, this is about, you know, they're having disagreements. They're not agreeing. Now, this is really, in a way, it's almost like a double reversal because it's turning up in the obstacle position. When it's reversed, it can normally mean concord and, you know, getting on with each other and stuff like that. But we know it's all chaos. So really, we can stick with actually that almost that double reversal, really, because it's reversed, which would normally be positive, but is turned up in the obstacle position. So really, it's chaos. We know that's what they're all about. His relationship with the GOP is all about creating what? Chaos, disagreement. If we look here in the middle, we've got the Page of Wands. So again, this is talking about messaging and stuff like that. And you saw when I pulled the cards for Labour, they got the Page of Wands as well. But look, this is upside down. So this can deal with immaturity around messaging. Look how childish they are. Yeah, look how childish they are, the GOP and, you know, Duck L'Orange. But this is also asking as well, sorry, about the IRS as well. So with these reversals, this would be suggesting as well, there's some battles there. Now, if we look here, here is the Knight of Pentacles, which we know sometimes can be the mercenary card, yeah? So really, in a way, it's almost like Duck L'Orange is the mercenary for the GOP. Like I said, the weapon of mass distraction and destruction in many ways. In fact, it's probably Trump's name on the nuclear codes. He's far more effective at ruining countries, isn't he? They should just put him in a torpedo and shoot him in the sky. Anyway, however, this also speaks about money. So what this says to me, the IRS has taken their long, sweet time to get to what? Trump's money, because this is a slow-moving card. It's known as one of the slowest moving in the deck. So they've not been exactly sprightly, have they? However, K2 is going to be bringing in that snip energy. This could change. It could also mean as well that Trump's fortune could be reduced somewhat. Whether or not he'll be completely and totally, utterly broke, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. But I would say his fortune is going to be much reduced. But this is the IRS has taken a long time. But really, the most poignant card here is the outcome card. Look at that. Four of Swords, where you can see the person has retreated, wounded in battle. It's all over with this card. Yeah, this can mean almost like a mortal wound as well. So basically, the way I see it is once the IRS and all the judges and everyone has got their act together, it really probably, I mean, this is speaking about the end of what? The whole empire, really. When you look at that, it's like the fight will go out of him if he loses his money. As long as he's got his money, for him, it's like oxygen, it's like fuel. And of course, as long as he's got his money, the people that want to support him, remember that Mercury in the 11th house, This also shows as well what the donations. Yeah, he's been getting what, lots of donations. The 11th house is what, community. So they see him as the people really into Trump. They see him as what, their spokesperson. Do you see how it all fits together? All fits together. But I think the answer there is yes. The IRS are most likely to come for him. They've taken their sweet time and they probably have to act now out of obligation or embarrassment. Yeah. So let's see what's next. So I've spoken about the eclipses. Solar eclipse will come into, I said, his second house, and it means the lunar eclipse is going to be happening in Trump's ninth house, which I think is his ninth house, which is the house of what? Law. Yeah, law and order, stuff like that, philosophies, travel. Like I said, he might try and run for it. All right, so let's see the next question here. So I've done that one here. So this is about the Trump secrets. So breaking news: fortified shared nuclear secrets with an Australian named Anthony Pratt. So this is called, according to Jenny W., including exact numbers of warheads, warheads US subs carry, and how close they can get to Russian subs without detection. Oh my God. Pratt then shared the info with at least 45 others, she said. Now, of course, I barely had a chance to look at the news. Just even hearing that, isn't that absolutely astonishing? Isn't that absolutely astonishing? And you got these douchebags, GOP and whoever, donors or whatever, still supporting this guy. I mean, I don't know what they're saying now. Yeah, I don't know what they're saying now. But think about, I mean, have we ever seen a time like this in politics and in human history, where you have a blatant criminal being supported by so many people? I know people have got bugbears and grievances and stuff, but this, even, wow. It's astonishing, isn't it? All right, so there's that there. So we know about that. Let's see, let's get some detail here. I will use my Art Nouveau deck because I do love it so much. Let's see what the energy is around the revelations of these secrets being shared. Because he just needs locking up just from that on its own. It's just so ridiculous. I just find the fact that he's even a nominee, the fact he could even win from prison, it's just as long as he's not on the tickets, of course, but you know, there have to be enough that don't. So let's see, what's the energy around him sharing all of this extra, yet more information? I've not been able to watch the news, guys, so I've got no clue. Let's see what the cards have to say. Look at the base of the deck. Choices. Let's see. Oh, look. It's all about the money. That's all these douchebags care about. Oh, the Tower. Well, maybe these. Will some minds be changed? Nostalgia. All right. Here we go. So around these new revelations, and I've just had 500 of you here with me as well, so thank you so much, guys. Here's the GOP. Look, it's all about the cash, legacies, establishments, all of this stuff. We see this card come up all the time, don't we? So this is them, yeah, still supporting Trump. However, more revelations. Yeah, could this be a Tower moment in regards to what has now just come out on Trump? I've not been able to see the news, see the reaction, anything like that, but look, there is the Tower here, turning up in the obstacle position. In the middle, we've got nostalgia. Yeah, so this is the GOP still trying to hold on to their family values, BS kind of whatever, when we know that they've completely become a kleptomaniac, absolutely rabid, frothing at the mouth cult. Yeah. But nonetheless, I think this is speaking about the potential electorate that's still with Trump, and it's about nostalgia, turning back the clock. Yeah, they're living in the past. if we look here, business still wants the tax cuts. So here with the Queen of Wands, it's the wands are very entrepreneurial, and this is literally the businesswoman here using her intuition. So there is actually a funny element here where there are still people prepared to support him, even with this. As Lena would say, they're rusted on. There are still people in business that want those tax cuts. Yeah. Remember when the GOP held the country to ransom, which feels like a week ago, and it was only a few days ago. They wanted to do what? Cut an absolute ton from welfare, this, that, and the other. However, to benefit the rich, yeah? But look, things are moving forward. So this, of course, is yet more spice and fire on what is already a cauldron of hot chili peppers, scorpions, and vipers. It's absolutely extraordinary. So let's scroll down and see what else you're saying in the chat. Oh, look, I've only got 5 minutes. Oh, the time has gone so quickly. So someone's saying here, Vedic astrology, I like HoGaLe's rendition of the royal stars. Thank you. Thank you. They are very important, by the way. They're very significant. Let's see here. What else are you guys saying? Way of positive change. So someone's saying here, way of change, positive change, Oracle Whimsy, dwellers. I watch Whimsy from time to time. Between what would we do? 9 of Pentacles, you're not trying to contradict anyone, but need to forge ahead, whatever happens. Yes, of course, absolutely. But what you also got to understand is if Trump becomes president, democracy is over. That's it. Your banana republic, instantaneously. He's made it very clear what his intentions are. He cannot become president. So it's high stakes. It's high stakes. Let me know as well in the comments, what are his chances of becoming, I should ask. That will be the final closing question. Is it even possible? Can it happen? I mean, I think it's technically possible, isn't it? My God. If Trump becomes speaker, then he becomes third in line to the bloody presidency. Like I said, it would take a miracle or a great act of evil for him to become president. We know how evil those bloody GOP are, but let's just see. Trump and becoming speaker. Is it a pile of BS? Or are they going to do wicked dark arts to try and get him there? I'm sure they're going to try, aren't they? Let's just see. Let's see what the cards have to say. Again, we see the 5 of Pentacles, stuff like that's probably not going to happen. If he gets big yes cards, and it's like, oh, we'll have to watch. Duck L'Orange. Can he become speaker? Can Mercury give him a last little boost via his friends in powerful places to get him over the line before the law ruins him? Let's have a look. Very interesting. Look at this. Okay. All right, folks. Over 500 of you with me now. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Looky here. Queen of Pentacles. So this is about keeping what? Money safe and secure and all of this kind of stuff. This is the GOP. Obviously, they've given, McCarthy the flick. I'm sure McCarthy's going to put himself back up again because he's so craven and shameless. But anyway, look, this is the GOP trying to secure a seat for someone. Remember as well, the Queen of Pentacles is all about security, looking after the money, the finances. So obviously they want to install him as speaker. Here we have the star card, but it's turned up in the obstacle position. And very often the star card turns up for Duck L'Orange because he wants to be what? The star, the center of attention. This card normally talks about spirituality, rebirth and stuff like that. But it has turned up in the obstacle position. They may be lining him up, but is it actually realistic? Could this actually happen? He would certainly take anything right now if he would think it would get him out of a tight squeeze. And this, the shadow of this card, the way I interpret it, is the narcissist. So this is literally talking about Duck L'Orange. It's all about the messaging. Yeah, the GOP are going to be talking all kinds of sophistry messaging. They're going to be trying to woo and convince. They're going to be having their machinations with themselves, you know, trying to, can we make this happen, etc. There it is there. But this can also be what? The false knight. This also deals with seduction, as I've talking about before. However, if we look here, we've got the Four of Pentacles, which is not necessarily the most prosperous card. It means trying to hold on. You can see he's literally holding on to those coins. So they're getting desperate. They're trying to hold on as hard as they can, trying to make him speaker, but it doesn't seem to be forthcoming. I'm sure the Democrats will do their best to make sure it doesn't happen if they can. But look here, we've got the Chariot here. So this is about making powerful moves, being dynamic and moving forward and stuff like this. What this says to me is that they are really going to try. They're going to try very hard to make him the speaker. And let's pull a clarifier to see where that will go. Let's pull a clarifier. Oh, in fact, you know what? I'm going to use my Menzel. Oh, where is the? There it is. I'm going to use this deck. And I'm like Lady G this evening with all my different cards and make sure that all the cards are the right way up. All right. I love the imagery on these cards as well. Let's see what the Menzel deck has to say to clarify this Chariot in regards to him being speaker. They're definitely they're pushing forward, that's for sure. All right, let's see what's going on. What do these cards have to say in terms of clarification? Four of Wands. Six of Wands. Ah, Death card, but reversed. How interesting. Okay, Four of Wands is about conflict, fighting. It doesn't show it on this card, but that's really what this card is about. So again, there's disagreement, discourse. They can't be sure. Six of Wands it is known as the victory card. Yeah, it is known as the victory card. However, he gets Death card reversed. So the Death card, of course, deals with what? Rebirth and all of this kind of stuff. But when it's reversed, it can take on a more negative connotation. So what this would suggest to me is that they will try. They're really going to try and push forward with this to try and make him speaker. And they might get close, but it might be scuppered at the last minute. I mean, it would be an outrage of the outrage, even for the GOP, to have Trump as the speaker. I mean, how's he going to manage to even be in office? Because he's going to be in court all the time. So I think they're going to try, but it looks like there may be one or two too many obstacles in the way. I'm sure Biden and everyone else will move heaven and earth to make sure it doesn't happen. And I think there'll even be a few GOP that might be like, you know what? I can't. I just can't. So let's just see that. Can you believe it? The time has gone already. 3 minutes over. So I'm going to wrap it there, folks. I would love to have answered more, but I had to cover some of those astrology bits. But we did cover a lot of ground. We covered UK politics as well. So that's something there for my British viewers. I want to thank you all so much for the support and all the love. Much appreciated. And I'm glad that you're enjoying the show. And of course, you'll next see me back on HoGaLe. So of course, HoGaLe on Saturday. And someone's saying here as well, someone's saying here, has 45 committed treason? Yes, of course he has. He is treasonous. I mean, that's really what he should have been challenged with or shown with in the first place. Thank you, Foggy, for your donation. I will leave it there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, and maybe watch one or two. I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it to your choice. I'll tidy up those things. This video should be fine. Normally my videos, they don't have tons of ads and stuff. I'll leave it there. Let's leave Shakespeare for HoGaLe, because otherwise the video gets too long. But bye for now, everyone, and thanks so much for the support. See you all on HoGaLe soon. Mwah! Much love. All right. Bye-bye.